on defense on that last play, and then Fetty came over to kind of deter him as well. And I think that's what allowed me to get that steal is because he saw Fetty and he exposed the ball to me.
Right.
And when he exposed the ball to me, that's when I ripped it from him.
Yeah.
And I mean, to hear the crowd at that very moment, their reaction, explain to me, how that felt. You were over there on the side. You were closer to the zoo than I was
dude,
at the time.
It was. I've been going to Pitt games for a long time. You could hear that environment was back, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was phenomenal. And I know that last possession, I almost couldn't look,
Mm-hmm.
But
So wait, did you have? Were you down there like this?
Yeah, no. I was like, shoot. Like I was turning away, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch. Thankfully, it ended up well, but that definitely got my heart racing a decent bit. But I mean, just the environment that's what you come to Pitt for.
Yeah,
the Pete was rocking,
mm-hmm.
and we're really hoping that continues.
Yes,
we've got 3 more home games, right?
Yeah.
That'd be huge if we can get it like that, 3 more games.
Right. So, we play in a very competitive, it comes down to 1 point against Miami.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got to take our show on the road.
On the road.
And, we go into an environment where, we kind of got some good history there.
For sure.
Me and you were both on the team last year, so
Yeah.
we know, we got to win there last year. Do you feel like that, helped us a little bit more confidently going into it this year?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we could tell from the coaching staff and everyone, there's a confidence about playing at North Carolina. Like, mm-hmm. This is what we do. We win here.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like as players you take on that swag?
For sure. I mean, you're really going to take on the entire program is, a reflection of what happens inside. Mm-hmm. And, man, I felt confident going into that game, with the players we had and the swagger we had that mm-hmm. we were going to take care of business.
Yeah.
And I knew it wasn't going to be easy.
Yeah.
But it was a dogfight.
Yeah, so I was going to say, let's break down that game into its totality because for me, I felt like that game was just as intense. If not more. I think it was more intense.
I think it was.
It was way more intense than the Miami game. And I think it started with, just the talking, on both sides. Obviously, very competitive. We beat them the first time. We beat them last year, and then we beat them the first matchup at our place this year. So going into their place, obviously those guys were going to show that, that they were tough individuals, and I felt like the talking back and forth is what made the game like so much more like competitive and fun. Like,
for sure.
Like it was a good experience out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone was backing down from anyone.
Yeah, on both sides.
Right. From the start, I mean, there was John back and forth. People
mm-hmm.
were talking. Fans were yelling everything you could think of. We can't say it on here.
Yeah, of course.
And man, like, it was a game of runs.
Yeah,
right?
Oh my!
Back and forth.
So let's break down a couple highlights of this game, right? So let's talk about, we go into halftime 34-33, right?
Yeah.
We say this in all our halftimes. I say this all the time that nobody remembers the score at halftime.
Exactly.
So we go into halftime up, but obviously that doesn't matter. You feel me? No games are won at halftime. Nobody remembers the score. That's our mindset. So going into the second half is 0-0.
Right.
Let's talk about the runs from halftime because we start off with a little lead and then they go on their run.
Man, they came out and punched us. I mean, they got on us pretty quick, and you heard that crowd get loud. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite things was watching as us come down and that crowd is getting loud and everyone's nodding their head like, bring it on.
Yeah.
Like I love this.
And I think that's what I love about this team is that nobody's afraid. That, we really like that. We really like it. We're not backing
embracing
down from
the moment is how I would put it.
I mean, coach tells us to, live where our feet are.
Right.
And I feel like in those situations, as of late. You know, we've been able to live where our feet are and embrace it.
For sure. I mean, let's talk about Nelly Cummins.
Yes. That's where I was going to go to next.
Yeah.
Wait, before you go, I call him Mr. Walk Down.
Mr. Walk Down. Walk in your trap, walk him down.
Yeah, because, I mean, what he did was
phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, we knew they were going to be in drop ball coverage, ball screen coverage the entire game. And I haven't even mentioned this. I was his roommate the night before, right, on this road trip. And he's watching film and everything. It's like 12:30. He's still watching film, and we're talking about stuff. And he's like, man, if they're going to be in drop ball screen coverage, like, I'm going to go off. Like those shots are there. Like, I'm going to be able to make
his game shots.
Like, I'm going to be able to make plays. Like, that's what I do. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, if they're going to do that, that's what you got to do. Like, you got to step up.
Yeah.
So, man, they went on that run. UNC went on that run.
Yeah, they went on the run.
Nelly comes down, hits 3 crazy big threes.
In a row.
Off the same play.
Yeah,
right?
off this.
Right? Little down screen to a handoff.
It was no. It was a high screen. It was a high pick and roll.
High pick and roll. He comes off basically 1 or 2 dribbles every time, knockdown.
And just launches it.
And I was talking to a few of the guys in the locker room today, and the Pitt basketball account just posted like the video of the 3 threes. And biggest thing that I noticed was after the third 3, like you could just hear the boom from the bench because the home crowd was obviously silent. That gave me chills.
Yes, you know? and you know what's crazy? I ain't gonna lie. Since that game, I've watched those highlights a few times, and every time I see him go on that personal 9-0 run, it gives me chills.
Chills, man.
And you know what? When he went on that run in that game, that's what gave us, I feel like, especially me, a boost of energy.
For sure.
Boost of energy. I feel like seeing Mr. Walk him down.
Walk him down. Can't overstate it.
Yeah, I can't overstate it, man. He really, for me personally, gave me a tremendous boost of energy. And you know, we just kept scrapping because even though he brought us, he walked it down and he brought us, I think he gave us a lead.
Yep.
It was still a battle from there.
Still a battle. You know, we got up, I think, like 7 points.
Yeah, we did. And then
here comes UNC right back.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to ask you this. What are you thinking on that last possession? You know,
for us
for us to win that game. What are you thinking right there?
What was I thinking?
Yeah, when coach draws up the play, you know you're going to have the ball in your hands. What are you thinking?
I mean, for me, I came out of the timeout very confident. I mean, I feel like to start the playoff to begin with, you can't walk out there like you're nervous.
Right, for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? You got to have a personal swag and energy to you, like, you know, you here for these moments, you know, because I feel like if you don't go out there from the jump, you know, having that mindset is not going to turn out well. So for me, I just went out there with tremendous confidence. You know, I believed in the play that we drew up. And for me, I was just trying to get to my spot, you know. There's been a few games where I go right and guys flop, so I didn't want to give them that chance.
Yeah, for sure.
So I wanted to get to the middle and get to a shot that I felt comfortable shooting, and I just got fouled on it. And I think it was 3.4 seconds left.
Yep.
3.4 seconds left, 63-64. And I'm just, you know, it's me at the line with a chance to win it, you know, with the UNC faithful as loud as they could be.
Loud as they could be.
I mean, as a kid, you know, you always grow up practicing in the driveway, you know, those type of moments, you know, 3-2-1 type of moments, at the line type of moments. I remember, you know, my first time coming to Pitt, my first year and working out in the summer, right? Yeah. And Coach Brown was taking me through workouts, like individuals. Yeah. And at the end, we shoot pressure free throws. It would just be me and him. And he'd be like, yeah, you got to make these 2. We're at UNC. We're on the road. We're at NC State. We're on the road.
Yeah.
And he used to say this type of stuff to me. And I feel like, you know, those type of moments, you know, putting the work in the gym, it all prepared me, you know, for that opportunity. You know, being at the line with 3.4 seconds left with a chance to give my team a chance to win. And I feel like, you know, glory to God, you know, the hard work paid off. So
for sure.
You know, it's just tremendous opportunity to be at the line, and I'm just glad we were able to come out, you know, on top in that building. Because in addition, to that, I mean, I had a lot of family and friends there, so it felt good. Unbelievable experience, to win the game and then to have, all my family and friends there in attendance. Yeah. The ones that have supported me, along the way. It was just, it was just a tremendous night.
For sure. Now, let me ask you this. I don't know if I agreed with this. UNC decided to inbound the ball and run it down past half court and then call the timeout.
Yeah.
What do you think you would do? If you were the coach, what do you think you would do? Something similar like that, or you letting your guards get downhill and go for the win?
Honestly, I would try to get it up the floor without dribbling. It's the dribbling that kills the clock. So
for sure.
It was 3.4. When they finally called the timeout, it was 0.6.
Yeah.
So now you only get 0.6 to get a shot off. But
not working with much.
Yeah, if you could try to advance it up the floor in a second or two, it might give you, 1.6 or, 2.6. And that could really make a difference in the type of look that you can get. So
for sure.
But like I said, I'm definitely glad, that we was able to come out on top.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you recommend on the menu?
That's the top gunner.
I'll take the top gunner. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
There's always been a question that I've wanted to ask you. How many nicknames do you have, man? Because your last name is Fisch, and I mean, I feel like everybody takes it and runs with it and creates various nicknames, and I feel like it's a new one every single day with you.
Let me think. So obviously, my friends growing up, they just call me Fish, but on the team, man, I've got Coach JC calls me Fish Sticks, the fish that saved Pittsburgh. We've got Nike calls me Fish Scale. Former player used to call me Fishman. And then I'm not going to mention what T.O. calls me. We'll leave that one off. But yeah. Definitely a decent amount of nicknames to work with, given that.
So you're a man of many nicknames, and also you're a man of many talents. Not that many people know this about you, but you're also in the midst of being now a scholarship guy, a big part of what we do. You're also in medical school,
trying to go to medical school.
To go to medical school. You're also
I'm a biology major, so definitely hasn't been the easiest balancing basketball and classes the last 4 years, but just kind of locking in throughout those classes, being really organized every week. I have my set times I'm going to study, set times I'm in the gym, practice. I try and allot myself some time to hang out with friends and stuff. But yeah, right now, thankfully, I am only taking one class because I've already got my graduation requirements. But I'm working as a volunteer at the hospital on Mondays, and then I'm working at a research lab 1 or 2 days a week. Yeah. So definitely balancing a lot. But,
man, I commend you for that.
I think that's a big part of being a student athlete. I mean, you know this. Obviously, as a graduate, in graduate school, you're balancing all that. And now you're doing all the podcast stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of work. And it takes a different mindset to kind of balance all that stuff and be successful. But.
So this is another question I want to ask you. Like you said, the mindset and you having to be diligent with your time. Is that something that you had when you first got into college, or you've had to, really get better at as you've gotten older and more mature?
I don't think I had it when I first came into college. Really didn't know what time management was. I mean, in high school, you know, you go to class, you don't really have much work to do outside of class. You go to basketball practice, like, hang out with friends, you do whatever, you play video games. College was definitely a wake-up call, you know, but I think it's been good for me. You know, it's kind of teaching you what you're going to have to do the rest of your life. Like, just being, you know, the most successful people, they're locked in all the time.
Right.
Not saying you can't, you know, relax and kick back, because I love hanging out with friends on weekends and that type of stuff. But it's definitely been a learning process, and I think I've gotten pretty damn good at it the past, like, 3 years. But that's how it's been for me.
Yeah, and I would say for me personally, man, I remember as a kid, my dad used to tell me this all the time. There's a time and place for everything.
For sure.
And
no doubt.
I didn't really understand it, obviously, being younger in college.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older and, you know, I've had to prioritize, you know, my health, you know, experience injuries in the midst of college, in the middle of college. You know, I've had to prioritize academics, like you said, getting sleep for the games and everything like that. You know, it's definitely been a learning curve with time management for sure, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just like to say this for the listeners. I mean, all the listeners know you as, you know, leading scorer and, you know, averaging X amount of assists and rebounds, you know, getting close to triple doubles, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But what I see every single day, JB is the first one in the training room every single day, getting treatment, working on his knee, strengthening himself, and he's usually the last one leaving the treatment room after practice. And, you know, we kind of joke around. We call him Braun, you know, right? And, you know, like some of it's a joke, but like some of it's like this guy is really invested in his body, and he acts as a professional, which is fairly rare at this level. You know, not everyone has that. And I think that's been crucial to your success. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I've been a little bit more diligent now, more than ever. I don't know if that's because this is my last year eligibility. And also, I just feel like, you know, more things is coming into place. You know, we got a you know, a great vibe with the team, and it's all playing a, you know, tremendous role.
For sure.
I feel like you've been a part of, you know, some different team dynamics. Speak about, you know, our team dynamic a little bit before we get off the show, and, you know, some that you've been a part of, and, you know, what kind of stands out to you that's made this journey, you know, that we've been on so far this season special.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, the first thing I'm going to talk about is I don't think this year's team has any more talent than teams I've been on in the past, if I'm being completely honest. The difference between this year's team and past year's team is we have mature, winning, like, mindset guys that, you know, all they think about is the team, you know? So we have you, Nike, Nelly, Greg, Blake, all these guys who in, you know, 5th, 6th year, like, guys have been around the block, they've seen everything, and, you know, have all been brought to Pitt. You know, none of those guys I listed, their first school was Pitt. Yeah. But you guys are all here with one goal in mind, and that's to win. And also, it doesn't hurt that we got some shooters this year. But definitely, you know, the team, like going back in past years, you know, we've had some very athletic teams. We've had guys who have, you know, put up big numbers. But, you know, they just didn't gel as well as they could because, you know, I don't think they had the maturity that this year's team has, which is, you know, I've always heard this around guards and being old. That's how you win in college basketball. And we got both this year, which is huge. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing this year. I don't know about you.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, you know, we've been selfless, and we've been all pushing it in the same direction, you know, and to me, it's just been amazing, you know, seeing the joy that each one of us have for the next man. You know, one game is Nelly, one game is Nike, one game is Blake, one game it's Greg, one game it's Fetty,
one game it's you.
Yeah, one game.
Most games you have a good one, and we got some other guys that are, you know, really stepping up.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like any given night, somebody else is
for
capable.
Sure.
You know, anybody's capable of going off, and I think that's the beautiful thing, and that's been the most, you know, rewarding and exciting thing is for me personally is just seeing everybody else succeed. I mean, like we said earlier, Nelly hitting those shots gave me chills.
Yeah.
Nike making that N1 behind the back leg against Georgia Tech
that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. And, as we continue to go throughout the season, we'll just continue to build a brotherhood and, many memories to come.
For sure.
Before we get off the show, I want to run our segment by you. The Just Buckets podcast is brought to you by the Oaklander Hotel, where relaxed luxury meets incomparable services. Located in the heart of Pittsburgh's Oakland neighborhood, they provide extraordinary service and an upscale experience you won't forget. Book the Oaklander Hotel, the best spot for your next stay. Our Fueled by Roots segment, if you don't know, we have a sponsorship, a partnership with Roots Natural Kitchen, and they've sponsored a segment for us that allows us to, as viewers, to see how you're fueled. Yeah. So who is fueling you as of late? Who do you listen to that has really been fueling you to either get through these games or some of the medical school and some of these jobs that you're working?
I think of myself, I listen to just about every genre of music, so I kind of flip back and forth. But as far as basketball goes, I'm a real old school Drake guy, throwback, like late 2000, like 2009, 2010, big on that. And I've also been put on, ever since on the team, Young Boy.
Yeah.
I think he does gets you hyped pretty well. Rod Wave. But as far as school, believe it or not, I listen to a little bit of like alternative and like I even listen to some country. Guys would probably kill me if they heard that in the locker room, but that's why I have different music for different places. Yeah. But that's the music that's fueling me throughout the day.
What about your go-to spot on campus or in Shady Side? Because don't you live in the Shady Side area?
Yeah. I mean, as far as like a quick bite to eat, I might go to Noodles and Company. But if I really want something good, this is out near your way. Fiore's Pizza. Check it out. Okay. Not sponsored by Fiore's, but phenomenal pizza. Best pizza in Pittsburgh. That's what gets me through.
Okay. As far as pizza spots, man, the pizza spot that is I'm going to be going to in the near future is Gussy's.
Gussy's, yeah.
So they also sponsor the show. They're a big partner of ours, but they're also but they're also have pizza coming out, for lunch and dinner options. Yeah.
I saw your little video. That pizza looked really good.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to try it.
It's a New York style pizza. They're huge. I mean, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
And they're going to be coming out. I think the date got switched from the 1st to the 8th.
Okay.
We want to get some things done, but if you're looking for another pizza option, the one you said is a little bit further out in the Dormont area.
But like on campus.
But on campus, if you're on campus, definitely stop by Gussy's for a slice. They have it. They're gonna start having it during lunch, and then nights a couple times.
For sure.
So it's definitely another option.
Excited about that.
Yeah, definitely another option on campus. Yeah. And then last question: who do you wind down to outside of school and basketball?
I'm a movie guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so movie, TV shows. Basically, I'm a big drama, mystery, like murder type of movie guy. And also, I always mention this, I'm a huge fan of The Wire. I've watched it like 4 times and love watching movies outside of basketball.
Right. So you mentioned The Wire. I seen after the UNC game that you posted something on your story. Can you explain that character? Is that guy from The Wire?
So he's a main character on The Wire. His name's Omar, and he is basically I call him the bully of the bullies. Okay. Right. So he comes into these drug dealers' houses and he robs them openly.
Yeah.
And no one can stop him. Right. He just walks into their house and takes what he wants, and I kind of think that's a little symbolic of us, you know. when we're the underdogs and everyone's doubting us, and we just come in there, we take what we want with no regard for what people think. You know?
Right.
So
you gotta have that mentality, man.
That's the story behind that for sure.
Definitely, man. It's been, a tremendous honor having you on the show, man.
Come on.
I've had a lot of fun these past 2 episodes, man, and I really appreciate you coming on and being the co-host of the Just Buckets podcast.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, definitely. See you soon.
Say it.